All right, everyone, I'm jumping on to explain why we do our verbal source citations the way we do in our speeches, because I don't think people understand why it's necessary. So first, when we write our papers, we cite the authors of our research because people are reading our papers and we have footnotes, right? A lot of times we do footnotes or we do in-text citations, and people can read it and look it up from what they read in the paper. When we are giving a speech, our audience can't read it, right? They're listening to it. So we have to be able to give them the information that they can hear so that they can go find our research and validate what we are saying. So we're saying according to, right? So that, and we do it every single time so that their ears become trained to listen to that research. So every single time they hear that according to phrase, they're like, research, research, research. The number of times you do that makes them feel like, oh, this person is a credible speaker. So we do that every single time. That repetition makes them think, this person is credible. It makes them hear research, right? So that's number one. Number two, the reason why we cite the publication, the name of where you got the research from, not the author of the research, is because looking for the author, if I'm going to find your research, is really difficult. But if I'm looking for the publication of where you got the research from, way easier. If I'm trying to find the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the LA Times, the Christian Science Monitor, Huffington Post, I can find those way easier than I can find some random author that I don't know. Maybe that person just wrote one article for that paper. I don't know how to find that person, but I can find that publication really easily. So you give us the name of the publication where it was published, or the name of the book, or the name of the journal article. But don't give us the name of the person, because I'm not reading it, I'm listening to it. And it's a lot easier to hear like, oh, that was in the New York Times. I can find that. So you give us the name of where it came from, not the person who wrote it. The last thing you want to give them is the date that the thing was published, because the date that your research was published is super vital. Because if I know it was the New York Times on September 22nd, 2022, I can go find that research so easy. And if I'm listening to your speech and I want to write that down and go, where did they get that from? New York Times, September 22nd, 2023. I can find that. I can go and look and fact check you, one. But two, if I want to read more about it and find out more about this information, I can go read that article myself. And you gave me enough information to go find it. If you just gave me the name of the person and a year, I'm screwed. I don't know who Joe Smith is in 2022. Who the heck is Joe Smith? There's a million Joe Smiths, and 2022 has 365 days in it. I don't know how to find that. So we use that format to, one, make us more credible speakers, and two, give our audience the opportunity to find our research if they need to fact check us, or to find the research to learn more. So it's really important that you use that format because it helps your audience. So please use the correct format. There's a reason for it. It's a structure. It's not just that I'm being nitpicky, but it's because your audience isn't reading your research. They're listening to it, and we have to make sure that they can hear what they need in order to be able to hear your research. All right, that's the importance of that.